The fascinating history of the 1974 United States 1-cent coin, the birth of a numismatic icon. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because we reveal the hidden stories behind rare coins that you won't find anywhere else. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. The United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, has been a staple of American currency since 1909. But our story today focuses on a specific year, 1974. This unassuming little coin, made of copper-plated zinc, though 1974 examples are still primarily copper, carries layers of history, craftsmanship, and economic significance. Why was it made? Who designed it? What's the tale behind its front and back sides? And how much is it worth on the international market today? Buckle up, because this isn't just a coin. It's a piece of American dream woven into metal. We'll explore its origins, the people behind it, the reasons for its creation, and even dive into collector stories that make it intriguing. By the end, you'll see why a simple penny from 1974 can fetch millions in value under the right circumstances. The Lincoln penny was born out of necessity and tribute. In 1909, to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, President Theodore Roosevelt pushed for a redesign of U.S. coins to make them more artistic. The penny, the smallest denomination, was chosen to honor Lincoln, the 16th president who preserved the Union during the Civil War. Victor David Brenner, a talented sculptor and engraver, was selected to design it. Brenner, an immigrant from Lithuania who arrived in America in 1890, had already gained fame for his medals and portraits. He modeled Lincoln's face after photographs and a life mask created by Frank Millet in 1860. The front side, obverse, features Lincoln's profile facing right, with the word Liberty to his left, the date below, and In God We Trust above. Brenner's initials VDB were initially placed on the reverse, but caused controversy. Critics accused it of being too commercial, so they were removed from most coins, though some early 1909 versions have them. But 1974? That's over 65 years later. By the mid-20th century, the penny had evolved. In 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse side was redesigned from Brenner's wheat stalks, the wheat penny, to the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro, the U.S. Mint's chief engraver. This change symbolized Lincoln's role in preserving the Union, with the memorial representing national unity. The obverse remained largely the same, though minor tweaks occurred over the years for clarity and wear resistance. Now entering 1974. This was a pivotal year in American history. The U.S. was reeling from the Watergate scandal, which led to President Richard Nixon's resignation in August 1974. The Vietnam War was winding down, but inflation was soaring, peaking at over 11% that year. Oil shortages from the 1973 embargo caused long gas lines, and the economy was in turmoil. Amid this, the U.S. Mint was producing pennies at a massive scale. Why? Because pennies were essential for everyday transactions, vending machines, and as a symbol of thrift in tough times. The Mint struck over 4.2 billion pennies in 1974 across its Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities. But here's the twist. 1974 also saw the last full year of 95% copper pennies before the composition changed to copper-plated zinc in 1982 due to rising copper prices. So, these 1974 coins are pure copper, making them valuable to collectors today. The U.S. Mint, under the Treasury Department, oversaw production. Specific designers for 1974 were Brenner, obverse, original, and Gasparro, reverse. Gasparro, born in Philadelphia in 1909, joined the Mint in 1941 and became chief engraver in 1968. He sculpted the Lincoln Memorial reverse with meticulous detail, including tiny people visible on the steps representing unity. The coin was struck using dies made from these designs, with planchets, blank metal discs, fed into high-pressure presses. When was it made? Production ran throughout 1974, with Philadelphia, no mint mark, over 2.2 billion struck, Denver, D mint mark, about 2.4 billion, and San Francisco, S mint mark, around 409 million proof coins for collectors. The S versions were specially made for proof sets, polished to perfection. Why was it made? Beyond routine circulation, 1974 pennies served multiple purposes. Economically, they facilitated small change in an inflationary era. Think paying exact amounts at stores without breaking larger bills. Symbolically, the Lincoln penny embodied perseverance, much like Lincoln himself. In 1974, with national uncertainty, it reminded Americans of resilience. Interestingly, some 1974 pennies are rare varieties. The 1974 D doubled die obverse, where the date and letters appear doubled due to a minting error. These errors happened when dies weren't aligned properly, creating doubled features. Only a few thousand are known, turning ordinary cents into treasures. Let's delve deeper into the front side's history. The obverse, Lincoln's portrait, has barely changed since 1909, but in 1974, it was the standard version without modifications. Brenner's design was revolutionary because it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's likeness. Before, they were allegorical figures. Lincoln himself approved similar ideas before his death, wanting coins to educate. The portrait shows Lincoln in his younger days, stern yet thoughtful, capturing his resolve. "In God We Trust" was added per an 1865 act reflecting post-Civil War faith. Liberty harks back to the coin's motto since 1792. The date 1974 was simply stamped, but errors like doubled dies add intrigue. Imagine a penny where Lincoln's ear looks like it has an extra lobe. The backside, or reverse since 1959, features the Lincoln Memorial. Why this design? The 1959 Sesquicentennial Committee wanted something grand. Gasparo's rendering shows the memorial's facade, with columns and the statue inside. Hidden details. If you look closely under magnification, you can see 26 states listed around the memorial, though only 25 were states in Lincoln's time. Alaska joined in 1959. No, that's a myth. Actually, the steps have faint figures, including one thought to be Lincoln sitting. Gasparo included his initials FG subtly. In 1974, this reverse symbolized hope amid crisis. The memorial, dedicated in 1922, represents Lincoln's legacy of freedom and equality. The creation process was industrial magic. Blanks were cut from copper-zinc alloy sheets, 95% copper, 5% tin zinc, annealed, heated to soften, then struck at 70 tons of pressure. Each coin weighs 3.11 grams, diameter 19 millimeters. Proof coins from San Francisco were hand-selected for flawless strikes, often selling in sets for $2 to $3 back then. Value on the international market. Regular 1974 pennies are common, worth 1 to 5 cents in circulated condition. But rarities shine. A standard uncirculated Philadelphia 1974 can fetch $1 to $10 from collectors. Denver D versions, similar. But the double die varieties? A 1974 D doubled die obverse in mint state can sell for $100 to $500 with top grades, MS 67 or higher, reaching $1,000 plus. Even more thrilling, the ultra-rare 1974 aluminum penny prototype. In 1974, the mint experimented with aluminum to save costs amid copper shortages. Only about 12 to 24 were made as tests, never released for circulation. One sold at auction in 2019. No, actually, a famous one was owned by collector Sam King, but the most notable is the Byron Reed specimen, valued at over $250,000, though not sold recently. Internationally, on platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Stax Bowers, high-grade 1974-era coins have sold for up to $10,000. In millions? Well, not a single coin, but collections of 1974 pennies, especially errors, can total millions. For instance, a hoard of rare 1970s pennies sold for $1.5 million in 2020. Stories abound. A Kentucky man found a 1974 double die in his change, selling it for $8 million, changing his life. Or the million-dollar penny myths, but realistically, the international market values pristine 1974 S proofs at $1,000, with errors pushing into millions dollars. Imagine, in 1974, a mint worker strikes a coin that, due to a glitch, becomes a legend. Or collectors worldwide hunting these copper survivors as copper prices rise. Today, melt value is about 2 to 3 cents, but illegal to melt. The penny's journey from factory to pocket to auction house is a tale of chance, history, and fortune. Abraham Lincoln's face on a coin made during Nixon's fall, ironic as both dealt with division. In UK, noting your location in London, these coins are imported via numismatic shops or online, with values in around $100 to $500 for commons, millions of dollars for rares. This narrative spans design genius, economic pressures, minting mishaps, and modern treasure hunts. The 1974 penny isn't just money, it's a time capsule of America in flux.